The experience of a country is the cumulative result of the choice of each individual in it. So as you choose your own circumstances, you affect each other person within your country and your world. In many quote-unquote native cultures, an individual is not considered in terms of his age at all, and the numbering of years is regarded as insignificant. In fact, a man may not know his age as you think of it. It would do you all good, young, middle, and old alike, to forget the number of your years, because in your culture so many beliefs are limiting in those ways. Youth is denied its wisdom, and old age is denied its joy. To pretend to ignore your age, to act young because you fear your age, is no answer. In your terms, your point of reality and power is, once more, in your current experience. A realization of this would allow you, at any age, to draw upon qualities and knowledge that quote-unquote existed in your past or quote-unquote will exist in your future. Your ages are probable, simultaneous. Although time does not basically exist as you quote-unquote know it, you are neurologically forced to perceive your life as a series of passing moments. As creatures, you are born young and grow older. Yet the animals, as creatures, are not as limited in their experience in that regard. They have no beliefs in old age that automatically shut down their abilities. So left alone, while they do physically die as all creatures must in those terms, they do not deteriorate in the same way. You do not understand the communications between yourselves and pets, for example, where in their own way they interpret and react to your beliefs. They mirror your ideas then, and so become vulnerable as they would not be in their natural circumstances. In greater terms, their relationship with you is natural, of course, but their innate realization that the creature's point of power is in the present is to some degree undermined by their own receptivity and translation of your beliefs. A young kitten is treated differently than an older one. The cat responds to such conditioning. In the same way, your own conclusions about age become fact in your experience. In line with them, if you could convince yourself that you were 10 years younger or 10 years older, then it would be faithfully reflected in your personal environment. If you were 20, you would be able to draw upon the wisdom you imagine you would have at 30. If you were 60, you would be able to use the physical strength you imagine was denied you now, but available then. All of this would be physically and biologically expressed within your body as well. Which you? Which world? If you are lonely, it is because you believe in your loneliness in the present point that you acknowledge as time. From what seems to be the past, you draw only those memories that reinforce your condition, and you project those into the future. Physically, you are overwhelming your body as it responds to a state of loneliness through chemical and hormonal reactions. You are also denying your own point of action within the present. Vitamins, better food, medical attention may temporarily rejuvenate the body, but unless you change your beliefs, it will quickly become swamped again by your feelings of depression. In such a case, you must realize that you make your own loneliness and resolve to change through both thought and action. Action is thought in physical motion, outwardly perceived. The present is the point of power. The above is one of the most important sentences in this book in practical terms, and working within the framework of time as you understand it. As mentioned earlier, you actualize events from the present intersection of spirit and flesh, choosing them from probabilities according to your beliefs. All of your physical, mental, and spiritual abilities are focused together then in the brilliant concentration of quote-unquote present experience. You are not at the mercy of the past or of previous convictions unless you believe that you are. If you fully comprehend your power in the present, you will realize that action at that point also alters the past, its beliefs, and your reactions. In other words, I am telling you that your present beliefs, in a manner of speaking, are like the directions given to the entire personality, simultaneously organizing and reorganizing past experience according to your current concepts of reality. The future, the probable future, is being altered in the same way, of course. To look backward for the source of current problems can lead you into the habit of seeking only negative episodes from your past, and prevent you from experiencing it as a source of pleasure, accomplishment, or success. You are structuring your earlier life through the dissatisfactions of the present, and therefore reinforcing your problems. It is as if you were reading a history book that was devoted only to the failures, cruelties, and errors of the race, ignoring all of its accomplishments. Such practices can lead you to use your own quote-unquote history so that it gives a very distorted picture of who and what you are, a picture that then paints your present circumstances. Those given to such practices, constant examination of the past in order to discover what is wrong in the present, too often miss the point. Instead, they constantly reinforce the negative experience from which they are trying to escape. Their initial problems were caused precisely as a result of the same kind of thinking. A great many unsatisfactory conditions result because individuals become frightened at various periods in their lives, doubt themselves, and begin to concentrate upon quote-unquote negative aspects. The situation may be quite different in some ways. Large areas of life may not be touched by certain attitudes while others are. One person may be completely free physically and in excellent health, and yet, because of certain experiences, begin to doubt his ability to get along with others. So he may begin to look into his past with that belief in mind that he cannot relate, and then find within previous conduct all kinds of reasons to support the idea. If he journeyed through his memories trying to find a different kind of proof instead, then in the same past he would discover instances when he did relate well with others. Your present beliefs structure the memories which will parade before you now, and what you remember will then seem to justify the beliefs. When you are trying to alter your beliefs, look through your past with the new conceptions in mind. If you are ill, remember when you were not. Search your life for proofs of your health. Your very life itself is hard evidence that health is within you. In almost all cases of present limitation, there is one main theme in that particular area. The individual has schooled himself or herself to stress quote-unquote negative aspects for whatever reasons. I have frequently said that beliefs cause reality, and that no symptom will simply fade away unless the quote-unquote reason is ascertained. But such reasons go far beneath your current ideas of cause and effect. They involve intimate philosophical value judgments on the part of each individual. Beneath them, the apparent causes of limitations in personal life, there are other far-reaching beliefs, and each individual will use those elements in his private experience to back these up. This applies to any kind of lack or hindrance severe enough to be a problem. You have been taught that you are at the mercy of previous events, so your idea of looking for the source of personal difficulty is to examine the past, but to find what you did wrong there, or what mistakes occurred there, or what inadequate interpretations were made there. Again, regardless of what you have been taught, the point of power is in the present, and again, your present beliefs will be used to structure your recollections. Those memories will be used to reach any conclusion, as statistics can be used, for example. Along the way, you may settle for a given remembered event or two, and assign to them the reasons for your present behavior. If so, you are already prepared to change your current beliefs and mode of action, and simply using the occurrences or habits of the past as a stimulus or motivation. The question, "What is wrong with me?" will only lead you to create further limitations, and to reinforce those that you have, through exaggerating such activities in the present and projecting them into the future. Which you? Which world? These questions are to be answered in the quote-unquote now as you understand it, through the realization that your power of action is in the present and not in the past. Your only effective point of changing any aspect of your world lies in that miraculous instant connection of spirit and self through neurological impact. To rid yourself of annoying restrictions then, my dear friend, you repattern your past from the present. Whatever your circumstances, you use the past as a rich source, looking through it for your successes, restructuring it. When you search it looking for what is wrong, then you become blind to what is right in those terms, so that the past only mirrors the shortcomings that now face you. Other events literally become invisible to you. Since basically past and future exist at once, you are at the same time dangerously constructing your future along the same lines. Individuals can go from psychologist to psychologist, from self-therapy to self-therapy, always with the same question: what is wrong? The question itself becomes a format through which experience is seen, and itself represents one of the main reasons for all limitations, physical, psychic, or spiritual. At one point or another, the individual ceased concentrating upon what was right in certain personal areas and began to focus upon and magnify specific quote-unquote lacks. With all good intentions, then, various solutions are looked for, but all based upon the premise that something is wrong. If such a practice is continued, the concentration upon negatives can gradually bleed out into other previously unblemished areas of experience. You are not at the mercy of past beliefs, therefore. On the other hand, the sooner you begin to act upon new ones, the better. Otherwise, you are not trusting them in the present. If you are poor and want to have more money and try to maintain a belief in abundance, while still faced with the fact of present poverty, you must in your reality make some symbolic move that shows you are willing to accept the change. As foolish as it may sound, you should give some money away, or in whatever manner that suits you, act as if you did have more money than you physically have. You must respond to your new beliefs, so that neurologically the new message gets across. You perform habitually in certain manners as a result of your beliefs. Now, if you willfully change some of those habits, then you are also getting the message across. The initiative must come from you and in the present. In a very real manner of speaking, this means changing your viewpoint, that particular perspective with which you view your past and present and imagine your future. You must look within yourself for evidences of what you want in terms of positive experience. Examine your past with that in mind. Imagine your future from the PowerPoint of the present. In such a way, at least, you are not using the past to reinforce your limitations or projecting them into the future. It is only natural to contrast what you want with what you have, and it is very easy to become discouraged in so doing, but looking for errors in the past will not help you. A correctly utilized 5-minute period of time can be of great benefit, however. In this period, concentrate upon the fact that the point of power is now. Feel and dwell upon the certainty that your emotional, spiritual, and psychic abilities are focused through the flesh, and for 5 minutes only, direct all of your attention toward what you want. Use visualization or verbal thought, whatever comes most naturally to you, but for that period, do not concentrate upon any lacks, just upon your desire. Use all of your energy and attention. Then, forget about it. Do not check to see how well it is working. Simply make sure that in that period your intentions are clear. Then, in one way or another, according to your own individual situation, make one physical gesture or act that is in line with your belief or desire. Behave physically then, at least once a day, in a way that shows you have faith in what you are doing. The act can be a very simple one. If you are lonely and feel unwanted, it can merely involve you smiling at someone else. If you are poor, it can involve such a simple thing as buying an item you want that costs 2 cents more than the one you would usually buy. Acting on the faith, even that feebly, that the 2 cents will somehow be given you or come into your experience, but acting as if you had more than you do. In health terms, it involves conducting yourself once a day as though you were not sick in whatever way given you. But the belief in the present, reinforced for 5 minutes, plus such a physical action, will sometimes bring literally awesome results. Such effects will occur, however, only if you cease looking into the past, quote-unquote, for what is wrong, and stop reinforcing your negative experience. These same principles can be used in any area of your life, and in each you are choosing from a variety of probable events.